I don't believe in God. I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
Put
keep
the
it real.
real and real talk. The God in God talk.
And that's a wrap. Today is Tuesday, September 27th, and you're listening to Real Talk on Godtalk, a podcast for people who skip church for brunch on Sundays. What's good, Yaya?
Yow, yow, zigga zow.
Hey. It's the late night hours, y'all.
Yo, it's scary hours. I got my glass of wine. I'm just coming from my swim class.
Hey, get
The
it.
girl is tired.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just late night recordings that we got to do. But we do it for y'all. We do a lot of love. A lot of love.
Yeah, nothing but
Did you
love.
miss me?
What's going on?
Nothing much, just chilling, working, chilling. I'm glad to be back. I must say the response that we got and all the love that we got from everyone on this on the first episode back
I know, right?
was real dope. Yeah, it was really good to just be part of people's conversations, to get their feedback. So I'm loving it. Y'all keep showing us love. We really appreciate y'all.
OT. Definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
All right, yeah, go ahead. Let's just jump right into this. Tell them what we're doing today.
Okay. Well, look, like when you in class and the teacher calls you, you're like, me. I'm clearly just putting my face routine on. Like, what? Nah. What are we doing today? We're trying something a little new, honestly. I think for a while, great has been the enemy of good for us, where we have been trying so hard to get y'all episodes and content and something meaningful, but I think we've come to the conclusion we just want to spend some time with y'all.
Yeah, we just want to talk, because I think that's what makes Real Talk on God Talk what it is. It's like we're just trying to have conversation.
Hey, keep it fun, keep it light. And so we're trying something that we're calling B-side episodes, right?
Yeah.
We're showing our age a little bit.
I know, right?
And recordings with A-sides and B-sides, but we're trying a B-side episode where it's an opportunity for us to, talk a little junk in a less structured way.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted a space to kind of get a little deeper into themes from the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
We try to be cognizant of y'all time and keep it short, but there's an opportunity to kind of dig in less formal way and share what y'all have been sharing with us. For this B-side, we're bringing back a segment that we've kind of let fall to the wayside a little bit.
But our day ones are gonna know this one though.
Right? Our day ones from back of the back.
Yeah, for real.
It is an oldie but goodie. We're bringing back Community Pastoral Care.
Yeah. Slow clap.
Right. Like, okay, y'all. So we are bringing back Community Pastoral Care. And this one goes out to the nuns and the sums. And this little tidbit will share what we mean by that, right?
Yeah.
So, let me put on my little nerd glasses, according to my calculations. According to the Pew Research Center, right? So the Pew Research Center is a nonpartisan think tank, right? That informs the public on issues, attitudes, and trends shaping the world. In their latest report, released a little earlier this month, titled Modeling the Future of Religions in America, the Pew Center looks at what is the U.S. going to look like if things keep going in the direction that it's been going, right? So
we're going down.
Long story short, people are leaving the church.
Yeah.
Even people that aren't in the church, people that are in various, whether it's, Abrahamic religions, Eastern religions, whatever, people are starting to move from being not starting, but continuing deepening the trend of saying, I'm in this religious category, and I no longer am. And so the Pew Center took a look at if the pace of religious switching continues to accelerate at the pace at which it has been going, and other factors remain the same, basically what's going to happen, right? So they modeled a couple of hypothetical scenarios, and what they came up with is that in 2020, the last time they did this little bit of research, about 64% of Americans, including children, were Christian. 30% were religious nuns or unaffiliated, and 6% were adherents of other religions. I hate to say other, but that's the term that they use. So that's Jewish people, Muslim people, Hindu people, and Buddhist people. That's about 6%. So they're basically saying that if all factors remain the same and religious switching continues at the same rates, fast forward to 2070, and only about 35% of Americans will be considering themselves Christian at that point. That's a humongous drop.
Yeah.
From the vast majority to a minority. And we know how people,
you know how people feel about that.
White people feel about that being a minority.
Right.
And so it'll be a huge change from being a religious majority to a religious minority. And over that same period, religious nuns, unaffiliated, would rise from about 30% to somewhere between 34 and 52% of the population.
Wow.
We taking over.
We coming for y'all.
So basically, that information is pretty obvious. Truth and I, we have been talking about this for a long time.
We've been trying to tell y'all.
Right. People are leaving structured religion.
Yeah.
And, that's not new, but there's a whole bunch of impacts to that. And so first, there's like the civic impact, right?
Yeah.
And so you want to tell us about the civic impact?
Yeah. So like,
I'm done. Tap
out. So obviously, right, the church is definitely like a space where we have individuals who are they're ready, anything goes wrong, the church is ready to mobilize, whether it's getting out supplies or anything like that, right? For example, what's going on, in Puerto Rico. We know we already know, like, if we say the government gonna help, they ain't gonna help. They're gonna call the church, right? They're gonna call the church and we're like, hey, do this. You know what I'm saying? And
right. And that's not even just like the government being lazy or not caring.
No.
They're both lazy and don't care.
Right.
But it's not even just that. That's like the legitimate like churches serve as a supplemental source of well-trained volunteers who know the deal, understand emergency management, because they does this. Like,
exactly.
This is what they do.
This is like one of the reasons why the churches were so even popular during COVID, to give out shots. A community that has a church that they go to will feel safe going there instead of outside of their community to get something, right? And so this is what the church does. They mobilize, they organize emergency responders. They get that, So what's gonna happen?
Right.
What's going on
in church? What you gonna do? In terms of the structure of the church.
Yeah.
Even if you're a Christian who might be a do-gooder, might want to help, if you are not involved in a organizational body, then you will not know when is the training. When can I come in and get trained to do this? Because it takes an actual skill set more than just a person that wants to do good,
Yeah, absolutely.
And so, like, I'll give you an example. So the other day, literally last week, I volunteered at a COVID vaccination center, right?
Okay.
And so low key, had the volunteers that showed up that day, like a few extra people showed up, had those people not showed up, they would not have been able to keep that location open that day, because so many people are kind of like either falling off because it's moving towards the fall, or they're busy now, or whatever. But when you start dipping into the stores of people that are actually members of churches and are plugged into the community, like, what are you going to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I totally agree with that. This seems like a very, a multi-layered question, because a lot of people, I feel, also don't go or remove themselves from the church due to some type of trauma or some type of like wildness that has occurred.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, like if the church was doing what they're supposed to be doing, we wouldn't be seeing a lot of this. But we had spoken about, or I think like you had said, what happens then to these people who no longer have like, a pastor to go to or someone to talk to, or, what happens then? What happens to this like being who's out here in the world? And not saying that they can't function, not saying that at all, but if your spirituality has played a large part of your life and then all of a sudden it's no longer there in the structure that how do
Mm-hmm.
you rebuild that? Because it's fine if you want to leave like a church that's toxic, a church that ain't for you, or a church where you don't feel it, whatever. But then how do you rebuild that? What do you replace it with? You know?
No, that's a fact. Because it's like, okay, civically, there's all these repercussions, the trickle
Mm-hmm.
effect of what happens. But
Yeah.
on like a individual level,
Yeah.
like there's a bunch of people out there, and some of what like I think we were talking about in the last episode,
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I've decided I'm no longer going to be a Christian woman out here in these streets.
Yeah.
But when the questions come up, when I'm lost, when I'm like in the depths of
Yeah.
pain and confusion or depression or whatever the hell I'm going through,
Mm-hmm.
who am I turning to? Am I
Yeah.
just turning my wheels? And I feel like a lot of people, not I feel like, it's not even a feeling. A lot of people are turning
Yeah.
their wheels and don't know where to go. And I
Yeah.
think, with our podcast, with Real Talk, we can never replace
Yeah.
a spiritual relationship or guide that you have with a person
Yeah.
or an organization or an entity. Like, we can never replace that,
Mm.
but we can try to help supplement it and help be a fellow journeyer with you.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening a lot of times, and so to kind of like bring it back to the community pastoral care,
Yeah.
is back when we had first started this segment, we would kind of go to listeners or go to our friends and go to
Yeah.
people we know and say, hey, you guys have any questions, anything you want to ask us, anything,
Yeah.
please, we have a podcast, ask us. And we
Yeah.
will be met with OD crickets. Like we'll
Yeah.
put something out there on social media and nobody will respond. But we built our following a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're out here and people are coming with all types of stuff, like like all types of stuff. And so what we're hoping to do, right, what we're hoping to do for this session of Community Pastoral Care is really be there for the nuns and the sums. Like if you have a church home and you have somebody you look to, you have that relationship with, and you can talk to them about that, great. You should talk to that person about what's going on in your life. But if you just are out here searching and you just need something, maybe a little director or guidance, a sign or whatever, we're here to help. And so we want to bring it to you. And so a question that has arisen in a couple of places for the past week. The first is I have a friend who shall not be named.
Right.
And she's on the dating scene, whatever, doing the thing as she should.
Right.
And she was trying to figure out, how does she recognize like the red flags as true red flags? Like she's met with a situation, she kind of likes this dude, he's showing some signs, and a part of her wants to say, I understand what's happening in your life as an individual person, so I'm going to be understanding and flexible. But I feel like, girl, you've been flexible before. You don't need to be flexible right now.
It's a
right?
trap.
Exactly. But on the flip side, when you are open to love, when you're open to that relationship, you can't look at old situations and say, oh, I see what happened in the past. You have to meet every situation as it is. And so, how does she balance all of those things to say, should I pursue this or should I not pursue this? And so it kind of came up with like, how do I make decisions? How should we go about making decisions in our lives? It also came up, I was scrolling the webs, the interwebs, as I usually do, and it came up in one of our followers' stories. I'm only gonna not name her because I don't know if she wants to be named. Right on. She had asked the question just to the general publics, how do you make decisions? And before I share my answer, I'm gonna look to you, Pastor Truth, and ask, how do you make big decisions?
Oh man, so every decision I make, no matter if I think it's big or small, the first thing I do is I take it to prayer. Some of the scriptures that I look to is James 1:5, which says, if any of you lack wisdom, ask God, because God gives freely to you. And that always brings me a lot of comfort to know that I am able to ask questions. And when I lack wisdom in something, like, I can turn to the source of wisdom for me. Yeah.
I'm gonna let you finish. So I
Yeah.
want you to finish your
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
thought. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
go
want to
for it.
interrupt, but I
Yeah.
do have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
You. So I'm coming with all the questions now.
Nah, do it.
Low key, I think letting go of Christianity has allowed me to become way more curious
Yeah.
and view it in a way where I just want to know. So
Yeah.
you can ask the questions of wisdom, but how the hell you know the answers? Like, what does the answer
Yeah.
sound like to you?
So I think this is where it really falls on having that relationship or being in tune. So what people say energy, I say spirit. You know, vibes, like, to me, that's nothing but God's voice. It's just like knowing. It's like when people say, "Man, I feel it in my gut." For me, I'm like, "Oh, that's God talking to me." There's this proverb. I love it a lot because of the way it's worded in the Message Bible, and it says, it's Proverbs 4, 7-9, which basically says, like, never walk away from wisdom because she guards your life. Love her because she keeps an eye on you. And above all and before, get wisdom. And it says, write this at the top of your list: get understanding. You can't have wisdom without understanding. But we are trained to just get the answer, not worrying about what that answer actually entails. Like, we are programmed to only listen for 10 seconds at a time before we're ready to do something else. Like, it's like a breaking down of us is what is being done, right? God don't work that way. Like any relationship, we got to spend time in it. It's like when you meet somebody new and you're in a relationship with them, you don't know how they communicate, but you spend time with them and you start to learn, right? You spend time with them, you get to know their mannerisms. You get to know when they feel in some type of way because you said something. You learn their looks. So it's like, for me, it's no different with God. I've spent that time with God to understand, like, when God's talking to me, to know when the spirit is like, "Hey, yo, chill," like that. And so, like, for me, after I take it to prayer, I take it to people I trust. So I'll take it to my mom, I'll take it to my sister, to my partner, and I'm like, this is what I'm trying to decide. Pray for me, pray with me. Many times they don't give me answers right away, and I really appreciate that, and I didn't understand why. But once I feel like I receive my answer from God, somehow I'll get confirmation. Whether it's somebody mentioning something that, like, my ear just turns to and I'm like, okay, cool. Whether it's like an example I can give this to you, the job that I'm currently working at now, when I saw that position, I didn't apply for it the first time. I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning with no more sleep in me. And the only thing I could think of was, like, get up and get on your computer and apply for this job. And I tried to go to sleep. I could not go to sleep. And I was like, you know what? I opened my laptop. I searched for it. I applied. Put my laptop away. Soon as my head hit the pillow, I was knocked out. A couple of days later, I get that call. Like, all of this, like, it sounds wild when you first hear it, but it's like, until you experience it, like, you gotta be open for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I think part of our issue is that we really have tried to make God one of us, like, in all the human forms, forgetting that at the end of the day, God isn't like us. Like, as much as we are made in God's image, like, we not exactly equals, y'all.
Right, in God's image,
Right.
you is not a equal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And I think this is where it gets messy for people, because there's many times I think all of us have probably prayed and we want an answer. We want a specific answer. And then we try to rationalize that answer and we try to look for ways of how God is telling us this is the answer. And it's like, no, it's not. No, the hell is not.
Right. You asking what you want, baby.
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, when you're making a decision, after you get your answer, you got to take action. But if you're already asking with a certain thing in mind, don't ask. Don't ask because you're not ready.
Just do what you're gonna do.
Just do what you're gonna do. Yeah,
Right.
because you're not ready to really hear God's answer. But if you're really ready to hear God's answer, whether it's a yes or whether it's a no, then just gotta prepare to take action. Because it's like giving advice to someone who don't listen.
So, low key, I'm stubborn. I'm clearly that person that don't listen. But I will say, so when you first started your answer to me, I was kind of like, but I still don't like what?
Yeah.
However, I just have to say, one part of what you said just really resonated very deeply with me. And this is my interpretation, what you say. So I'm not trying to put words in your mouth.
No worries.
But I think a lot of times I get stuck in like old conceptions of God the Father, or God the Mother, God in a parent role, of like God takes care of me. And so like that's just our role. But I think you kind of brought up a conception or like an understanding of God for me, and follow me a little bit,
I got you.
listeners, real talk, fam, of God the lover, like God as someone that you have, not someone, but an entity, a divinity that you have to court. You have to allow the time and space and dedicate the time. Like, not to no, but actually to keep with the dating or the dating metaphor of like, you go to date someone. Does that person actually have time for you? Does that person, like, there's a difference between that person might have the time to be with you so they could lay up in the house with you and watch Netflix and do all types of shit with you, eat your food and use your body. But is that person making the time to date with you, to get to know you, to get to know your way of communicating, to know what it means when you look to the side and look down, to know what it means when you shrug your shoulder a little bit? And that is the depth of relationship. Like, I feel like my understanding of it right now is I want to get to a place where it's like I'm knowing God as a lover, where it's like I know the intricacies, like it's a real relationship. Like it's really, like when I think of, it's not religion, it's relationship. It always likes to just sound so corny to me.
I hate, but that's what like God is a lover of our soul, B. Like what do you think? You don't become somebody's lover of their soul by just like Netflix and chilling, like
right, by just saying, oh, I go to church a little bit, or even if you don't go to church, just say, oh, I believe, of course I know there's a higher power. Like, great, but are you dedicating the time, the energy to develop that relationship so that when God is telling you something? Because my original question was, okay, you get an answer. How do you know that you have an answer? But you have an answer because you've developed a relationship with God. Like, you've spent time, even if some of that time is in silence, and for 80% of the time nothing happens, but that 20% you something clicked, or you felt something in your body, in your spirit, and whatever. Like, that is the portal to the next step. So
that's really
that was real deep. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you gave words. You gave like words to exactly what I was trying to say. This is what we mean by relationship. It's not just like ritual. It's not ritual. It's not like I'm just gonna be a good person. It's
fresh,
not.
it's curiosity.
Exactly. It's like falling in love all over again. The way that it's supposed to be is that there's one teacher and everybody else is a student. Everybody else is just classmates. It's like, if you want answers, ask God. I feel like what happens, having that structure of like quote unquote like religion, it's not so much the religion part. I think it's the community part. That's what people cling to. That's what makes it sometimes so hard to leave, because they don't want to leave their community. They've gone through things with these people. They've grown with these people. They've probably taken classes, like biblical classes in that church with these people. And that's what makes it sometimes so difficult to leave. But when you leave, how do you replace that community?
Right. And when it works, when it works and it clicks, it's great. Like, I think one of the most interesting things is that I think I'm a little wistful, a little sad that I have not found a way to make it work. Like sometimes, like, y'all know, I by this point, your girl be on the interwebs, and so I be scrolling, and I hear people talk about their relationship with Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, traditional Christian, the way I was raised, stuff. And I feel sad to not be a part of that group anymore. And I don't know if I have anything else to add there. I gotta think more about like what that means.
I totally hear you on that, because even as someone who is like not a member of a church, sometimes like I'll like read stuff and I'm like, man, that sometimes I do miss that feeling of being inside of a church and a community, where like you don't really have to fake the funk, or you don't really have to like lie about you're struggling, right? Because sometimes it's hard to say that you're struggling with your faith to people who may not believe the same things that you do. But sometimes it's easier to admit that to somebody who's like on the same path as you. Like, yeah, I'm struggling with my faith a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Yeah, I
hard. It's
mean,
hard.
in the world, it just feels like people don't fucking care.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
people don't even care to be nice. They definitely don't care
Exactly.
to be Christian, like, real, legitimate followers of Christ. Like,
Yeah.
like people be terrible. So that's not
Yeah.
there. And so, to kind of get back to what we do when we're making big decisions, clearly a little bit more prayer needs to be in my process. But on the other side of the spectrum, I told my friend, I really think of like big main character energy. Like,
okay.
I like to think, what does it look like if I were watching a TV show or a movie or reading a book, like if this is the drama of my life and the world stage of my life, and I'm the main character, what would I tell the main character? I think a lot of times, especially when it comes to dating, like when love is involved, love, lust, all those things, when those things are
There's a
involved,
difference.
it just messes with your mental. And so you just cannot see things for what they are. Like, hindsight's always 20/20. So when you look back, you can always say, oh, I should have did this, or yeah, I did this and it was right, whatever. But in the moment, it's just like, what am I going to do? I have to make a decision. So what's up? We going out next week or not? And I think it's really, for me, quite simple. If I was watching a movie or a book, would I tell that person that I'm watching that they should or shouldn't do this thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm always quick to be like, girl, you dumb. Girl, don't do that. Girl, you know what I mean? But when it comes to me, can I do the same thing? Can I stick to that? So sometimes for me, it's just easier to depersonalize it and make myself the drama, the main character, and really think, what would you do? And hold myself to that standard. So it's challenging sometimes.
I like that. And also like have people around you that will hold you to that as well. That's always nice. Like, hold me to it.
The Yaya, I know you would not do that.
Yeah, like you tripping right now. Stop it.
Stop it.
Right.
Okay, so that's that. Listeners, if you are that person, I hope y'all hear what we have to offer, something to think about.
Yeah.
If you're not, but you're going through something similar, and you feel comfortable, let us know.
Facts.
Social media is how we communicate. I will give you my number, but I don't want to play favorites.
Facts. You can always slide in our DMs. So
right, that part.
Thank you so much for spending time with us here at Real Talk on Godtalk, a podcast for people who skip church for brunch on Sundays. To keep the conversation going, tell us what you think by following us on Instagram or Twitter at Real Talk on Godtalk.
It's Yaya, and you're listening to the Moon Reading. From September 9th to October 1st, we have been and will be experiencing Mercury in retrograde. So what is Mercury in retrograde? Periodically, certain planets visually appear to travel backwards across the sky, and it's currently Mercury's turn. We refer to these periods of time when Mercury is apparent retrograde as Mercury in retrograde. To those who practice astrology, these times in particular are traditionally associated with confusion, delay, frustration. Think about miscommunications or fallouts with friends, email issues, and travel mishaps. For a better grasp of the why of it all, let's take a moment to think about what we know about Mercury. Mercury is symbolically represented by Hermes in Greek mythology. The planet Mercury is the messenger of the gods. In astrology, the planet's movements influence our day-to-day communication, and within our personalities, it represents our ideas, our intellect, and how we communicate and relate with others. As one of the innermost planets in the solar system, Mercury orbits the sun at a much faster rate, meaning that the impact it has on our lives is short-term. The planet Mercury reflects our communication style as well as how we conceptualize ideas, how we organize and make sense of the world around us. The planet Mercury rules all communication forms. That's listening, writing, reading, speaking, and so on. It's also all up in our activities closely related to communication. So that's contract negotiations, travel, automobile, shipping, mail, the whole 9 yards. So when Mercury is in retrograde, there's no need to get all woe is me, contrary to popular belief. Rather, it's just a signal to shift our approach. During this time, we can try to remain flexible, patient, understanding, and allow extra time for travel. We should definitely avoid signing any new contracts. Double check your email responses. No CCing the wrong person. No forgetting attachments. Make sure you check in reservations before you take your trip. Although you can't stop your life, do plan ahead. Have backup plans. Be prepared for it all. Currently, Mercury in retrograde is taking place until October 1st, but it comes back again from December 28th to January 18th in 2023. Just keeping you up to date with the info. Try to stay ready so we don't have to get ready.
Right on, Yaya. Always making sure we're staying right around here. Thank you so much.
I try.
So this has been a super dope episode. I think we got to talk about so much. Thank y'all for also providing us with this content, because if it wasn't for y'all, we would not be talking about all this. So thank you.
Yeah, we'd be on the phone.
On the phone.
On our flip phones. Be like, hey, Truth, what do you think? Get a late, we're getting delirious. It's fine.
Oh man. So that said, Yaya, you still on your journey 100 books?
You know
I love it. I love it. What's on the list? What's going on? I know IG recommended some good books.
Yeah. So IG has recommended some bangers. I'm gonna list out a few. The Imaginary Lives of James Poneke.
Mm-hmm.
All About Love, a Bell Hooks classic, 1984. Oh God, we are living in an Orwellian type of thing going on right now.
And last but not least,
back to that, the Holy Bible
that we pulled out on y'all
like
today.
We said earlier. Listen, we pulled it out on y'all. Get y'all whatever version makes you feel good, confident, and that you get in the right translation
right
down.
On.
I will definitely let y'all know if and when we check them out.
Right on.
Yeah, and so even in addition to folks that gave us recommendations, I'm asking, please keep the recommendations coming, y'all. I think I'm at number 30. Am I at 35 yet? Not yet.
Okay.
Almost at 35, but need all the recommendations I can get. But we also want to give a major shout out to the people that mess with us heavy on the love, the Instagrams.
Yes.
Yeah. And so on this B session, we want to give some individualized shout outs to our lovely follower, Very Sheen on Instagram. Give them a follow, VERISHINEEN.
Right. And then we also got
much love to you.
Joe T_Joe T. Shout out.
Shout out to TF Ohana. Yeah. Give them a follow, TF.Ohana, OHANA.
Yeah, shouts to Grace is Grown. Damn.
Always. Shout out to the Black Gems Dive-In podcast. Hey. Give it a listen. Yes. It's good stuff. How about I got the next one. This is my friend.
Hey.
You know, my sister, my friend, Our Lady of Fatima, who is the head of Sis Heal Yourself.
Okay, now.
A page all about self-care, wellness, mental wellness, and loving God for women of color.
Yes,
so
love
major
it.
shout outs to her.
Shout out to Carmen Tagram. I like that. I like what you did there. Dig that.
Major shout out to,
and that's
I don't know how to pronounce this.
I think that's TSC LLC. Right on.
Okay. Shout out to you. Shout out to Oh, that's my mama. Y'all don't need to follow her on Instagram, but shout out to her. Love you, mommy.
Yeah. Facts. Shout out to my mom too. I ain't gonna tell you. I need to follow her. Stop it.
Oh, that's
my
your mama?
mama. Yeah.
I know she cool.
Yeah.
She cool. I know that's your
That's my
mama.
mama.
Okay, and then last but not least, shout out to my girl, I am Lord D. Always showing love.
What's good, ma? I love it. We thank y'all. Because of y'all, we get to do this. Be sure to hit up our DMs. Tell us what you think about the episode. Join the conversation because we want to know what y'all think. This is how we learn. We learn as a community. So slide into our DMs. Let us know. Book recommendations, audiobooks for me, please. And yeah, I love it. What else? Yeah, just keep showing us love. We love it. Yeah, last words.
Yeah. Give us attention. We love it. We'll give you attention back.
Exactly.
It'll be a cycle of attention giving. Oh, it's late, y'all. We tired, but we do it for y'all. We love y'all. That's my final word. Love. We really do.
Exactly. And we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
I don't believe in God. I know God.
I love me some Jesus.
You're doing too much.
That's crazy. That's on the next episode.
It's the moon reading.
I rock with you, Yaya.
It's all love.
They better listen to this advice. We good.
You crazy, girl.
This is what this show is about, all right? We
put
keep
the
it real.
real and real talk.